My mother gave me 2 black eyes.
I beat his butt.
They yell.
Are you calling your mother names?
When she was punching me in the face, yes, I did.
They argue.
You've been married 7 times to 6 men you don't get along with.
Well, no, one of them died.
To get away from you, or he just died? Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
I try to be an emotional compass and point you in the right direction.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you. Thank you very much. Well, a house on the lake, jet skis, his dad's old pickup truck, her new car, clothes, furniture, and a dog. These are just some of the things Charlene and Tom are bickering over. No, they're not husband and wife in the middle of a bitter divorce. They are actually a mother and son who say their relationship took a turn for the worse when Charlene, and I'm quoting her, beat his ass. Now, Charlene says her beloved baby boy is trying to evict her from what she claims is her house and doesn't care if his own mother ends up homeless and living on the streets. Well, Tom says, hold on now. Don't let his mother's sob story fool you for a second. He says she is an ungrateful manipulator and a freeloader who has been married not once, not twice, 7 times. Hasn't worked in 15 years and refuses to thank him or even acknowledge everything he does for her. That's not the end of it. Oh no, there's more. Charlene says Tom is jealous, overprotective, controlling, and acts like her husband, not her son. Take a look.
It's always been Tommy's way or the highway. Tommy's never wrong. The world's wrong, but Tommy's never wrong. Tom thinks he's the boss of me. Tom acts more like my husband than my son. He doesn't want me to have any friends. He doesn't want me going anywhere with my friends. It's hard to have a personal life with Tommy. Over Christmas, he got into my phone, and a gentleman that I had just been speaking with by text, he threatened to break every bone in his body if he ever talked to me again. My son Tom wants to control me. He would tell me to sit down and shut up. I would go to say something, he would tell me I was stupid. This is the first time that I have stood up to Tommy, and he's trying to take everything away from me. Tom's trying to steal my house. I purchased this house and paid cash for it. Tom does not own it and has no right to take it away from me. My son Tom is trying to make me homeless. I feel like I'm in the twilight zone. I can't believe this is happening. I am fed up with his behavior, and I will not make excuses for him anymore. I feel so stupid for letting my son control my life. I don't know why he hates me this much.
Tom says Charlene may think he acts like her husband. In reality, he says he's the parent, and his mother acts like his ungrateful child.
My mother doesn't treat me like a son, she treats me more like a meal ticket. She's a manipulative bitch and a money-hungry freeloader. It's all about $1. My mother's acting like a spoiled brat. The roles are reversed. I definitely feel like the parent in this relationship. I've been financially supporting my mother for years. She's completely dependent on me for everything. I make her car payment, I pay her insurance, I pay her cell phone bill. I pay for everything. I've supported her for years, done my best to give her anything she ever wanted. It was just easier to give her money. I've created a monster. I never told her no. My relationship with my mother is over. She went into a rage. She attacked me. My mother gave me 2 black eyes. When my mom attacked me, it was like a wake-up call. I took out a restraining order and put up security cameras. She said she was going to come to my work and beat me with a bat. She was going to drive a car into my pool. My mother is selfish and ungrateful. I've cut her off. I've invested thousands into this house. It's deeded to me and me alone. She either needs to pay me $150,000 or get out of the house. She could be homeless for all I care.
Well, Charlene says for years Tom has verbally attacked her, but she's made allowances for him because he's her baby. And she didn't want to rock the boat. Well, recently, not only did Charlene rock the boat, she tipped it way over. Take a look.
Tommy and I got into a physical fight.
I was at my house with friends. She was agitated. She wasn't herself.
He called me the word and whore several times, and I beat his butt.
I was sitting there minding my own business. She started swinging at me. I rolled out of the chair into the floor. She kept on clobbering me.
Hit him and knocked him down here. I straddled him, and I hit both sides of his face with each fist and gave him 2 black eyes. He was calling me a whore repeatedly during all this.
I grabbed her by the wrist, like this, to keep her from hitting me anymore. And finally, somebody pulled her off of me. I didn't want to lay a hand on her, but I was kind of shocked. If a man would jump on me like that, I would defend myself, but as a mom, I didn't know what to do.
He had that coming. You don't talk to your mother that way.
Okay, the last thing that you said on that tape was you don't talk to your mother that way.
Yes, I did.
Now, this is the mother that just had her son down in the floor, straddled on top of him, punching him in both eyes.
Yes, I did. He repeatedly called me the word and a whore on several different occasions.
Not true.
He repeatedly talked to me like I was a stupid, senile old woman and I didn't know how to take care of myself. He didn't want me to have any friends. He can be very hateful.
Okay. Okay.
That's not why I hit him.
How old are you?
38.
You live on your own?
Yes, sir.
You live on your own?
Yes.
Are you guys over involved in each other's lives?
I would say absolutely we have been. Yes, I say absolutely we have
So
been.
you're saying you can't have friends because your son comes in and makes trouble.
He does.
Is that true?
Absolutely not.
Okay, now hold on. Let me just call time out here. I've been doing this a long time. There are not versions of the truth. There's the truth, and then there's the truth. There aren't versions of the truth. So you guys need to take a breath here and decide that we're going to talk about the truth. Because if you spin it one way and you spin it another, and the truth is somewhere in between, I can't help you. And I'm not going to fact check this afterwards and then come back and talk to you next week. This is on, if you really want help, you have to tell me the truth. So let's just talk truth here. Whatever I ask, you got to tell me the truth or don't tell me anything at all, because I can't help you if you don't tell me the truth.
Sure.
Okay?
I totally agree.
All right. So y'all think about that and we'll take a break. When Charlene accuses Tom of trying to steal her home right out from under her, is she telling the truth? She also wants Tom to fess up about how $9,000 cash disappeared from her home late one night and mysteriously ended up in Tom's bank account. Did he steal $9,000 from his mother? What's the truth about that? There are not versions of the truth. I want to hear the truth, or this is going to be a really short show, and you're going to have to wait for Judge Judy to come on. We'll be right back.
My son Tom refuses to put me on the deed to the house.
She put the house in my name, so when she died, the house was mine. Let's just say that I would walk away from the house, which I never would in a million years. I'm out like a fat kid in dodgeball. Won't happen.
And later,
Tommy, you're lying.
Okay. You want to talk about that $9,000 now?
yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll talk about the
Let's do
$9,000.
this.
Tom refuses to answer any phone calls. I tried texting him, but he won't respond to any text.
She just kind of flipped out. I'm not interested in talking. She said she was going to bury me in court.
I really don't want to take you to court and tear you apart. I want my deed. I want my money. You live your life and be happy and just leave me alone. This is my house.
I'd write a check never to have to look at her again. That's how done I am with her.
Okay, today, a mother-son battle over a house. Charlene says she bought the house, paid cash, and it belongs to her. Well, Tom says his name is on the deed and she needs to get out of his house. Tom says things have gotten so bad that now Charlene is leaving him threatening voicemails and texts.
Tom and I are in a dispute over my house. I put the house in Tom's name because I was going through a divorce and I didn't want the property to be in any kind of dispute.
I never agreed to sign the house back over to my mom after her divorce.
We had a verbal agreement that once I got all my marital problems straightened out, he would deed the house back over to me because it was my house. He refuses to put me on the deed to the house, and I've asked him numerous times.
She put the house in my name and my name alone, so when she died, the house was mine. She has $160,000 of her own money in the house, but I have more than that invested. When I bought the house was in poor condition, needed a lot of work, so I've spent upwards of $150,000 on it since then. There's been a lot of renovations at the house, painted it inside and out, put a roof on it, built a 2-car garage, remodeled the kitchen, remodeled the bathroom, new boat dock, new outside deck. I took out an equity loan on the house. The limit was $250,000. The equity loan payment is approximately $1,500 a month.
It's not my fault that Tom's still paying on this loan. He's borrowed money for a lot of other things. And I've told him repeatedly that as soon as he puts my name back on the deed, I'll go get my own loan and he's done with it. I'll pay it all.
Let's just say that I would walk away from the house, which I never would in a million years. I'm out like a fat kid in dodgeball. Won't happen. She couldn't afford the house if she wanted to.
I don't owe Tom a damn dime. This is my house.
Okay, why did you put the house in his name?
Because I was separated from my husband, was going to go through a divorce. And Tommy said, you need to protect your house so that he can't come in and take anything. And so we talked about it there in the lawyer's office. And he said, Mom, put it in my name. I'm the only one you can trust, and then you'll be okay.
So you were secreting assets to avoid a property
No, it wasn't
division.
secreting assets. Just I didn't want to bring that house into it. My husband has his house. Okay, my husband has his house, all right?
Yeah. And this was which husband?
Harold?
Which number was that?
Oh, Lord, I don't know. I lost count.
What was this like in
This is my current husband. We've been married since 2004.
But you're not married now?
Yes, we are married.
Oh, you're still married?
Yes.
Is he number 7?
No.
8?
No, I think you went too far. I think we better back up maybe 6.
He's 6?
Yeah, I think so.
But like you said, you lose count.
I lose count.
You've been married 7 times to 6 men. You married one of them
Yes,
twice.
I did.
My point is, he's not the only one you don't get along with. There's at least 6 other guys you don't get along with.
Well, no, one of them died.
To get away from you, or he just died?
No, he just died of cancer.
Okay, sorry to hear that.
Yeah, he just died of
But-
cancer.
But you do have problems with relationships.
Oh, I have serious issues with relationships.
Okay.
I believe I have a true commitment problem.
Okay. Did you call your mother a whore and the word?
As she was hitting me in the face, yes, I did. Not before that.
Not before that.
Not before that. Absolutely not.
You've done it many times before.
You're lying.
No, I'm not.
Did you say? I'm going to read a quote here. She said, "Tom started treating me like his father did," and she said at one point, you asked her. Tom said he wanted to talk to me outside. We got into his car. He then locked the doors and began verbally attacking and ranting.
I did?
Yes, you did.
And said, quote, "My dad was right. You are worthless. You are a whore."
I said that as she was punching me in the face.
No, this was in the car.
She never was in the car.
Yes, I was.
Okay, now
Tommy. It
this
was
is
your
where
red
I say there are
Corvette.
not versions of the
It
truth.
was your red Corvette sitting in front of the El Dorado. Everybody in the world was standing outside heard you.
That was 10 years ago.
No, Tommy, it was right after your dad died. Maybe 2
6
months
years ago, I'm sorry. I don't remember that, but the red Corvette was a 2010, so...
Well, did you get her in the car, lock the door, and start
No.
ranting at her?
No. Would I have held her in a car with tons of other people watching?
Well, I don't know. I
No.
didn't know you could lock somebody in a car.
Yeah,
I thought
you
you could
can't.
lock people
Yeah,
out of
he
a
held
car.
the lock.
Yeah.
Every time I went to open the door, he said, "No, you're going to sit here and listen to me."
Absolutely incorrect.
Tommy, you're lying.
Okay. You want to talk about that $9,000 now?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll talk about the
Let's do
$9,000.
that one
I've
day.
got to take a break again. When we come back, you have the floor for $9,000. We'll be right back.
I hope you're happy. Sit there with the crocodile tears all you want. It's irrelevant. I want nothing to do with you. Stay out of my life.
I support my mother. My mom is irresponsible with money. It used to be part of my daily routine to check her bank account every day because it was overdrawn constantly. She's $500–600 overdrawn in the bank right now. Over the last 3 years, I've transferred over $107,000 into her bank account. And most of that money that I've transferred is to pay her bills.
I pay my own bills. Tommy does not take care of me. I'm like Tommy's personal assistant. He'll transfer money over to my account so I can do things for him. He's trying to flip it around and act like he's giving me all of this money. I told Tommy that I wanted to get a part-time job. He said, "No, you're not doing that. You'll just mess things up on my taxes." He claims me on his taxes. Always has to portray that he's this big rich person.
Where would you like for me to start? The taxes or the $9,000?
The $9,000.
Long story short, she told me that she wanted me to have this $9,000. She knew I was buying another house, and because she was never able to do anything for me, that she wanted me to have this $9,000. She went as far as to take the $9,000 and try to put it in my bank account, but Chase wouldn't take cash from anyone but me. Okay, but however, they have a picture of the deposit ticket that you filled out in your handwriting.
Yes,
so if
I
I was
did.
going to steal money, would I bring you a deposit ticket and say, "Here, I'm stealing this, go put it in
No,
the bank"?
Tommy, that's because you said you can't put too much in one account because it'll red flag it with the IRS,
That's
and you
why I
put
was
it
telling
in
you
another
the long
account.
story. I
Okay.
told her not to put the $20,000 in one place because it would flag the IRS. I told her to put $9,000 in my account, $9,000 in hers, and put the other $2,000 in her pocket. And I would figure out
He
what
did say that.
I'll let
but
you
he
talk.
said, "I'll give you the other $9,000 when
told
you
me
need it."
You told me you wanted me to have it.
No, I did not. You make all this money. Why would you want my piddly little $9,000? That's all I got.
If you'll go away, I'll give you $9,000 now. But what about all the money that
I'll
I've
give
spent
you
on the
both
house?
$9,000 if you just shut
Go
up.
away. Go away. I never want to look at you again. Go away. It's not a matter of money, it's a matter of principle.
What do you want? What would be a healthy outcome, a healthy adjustment in your relationship, in your life with your mother?
I don't want a relationship with my mother. When she started swinging, it was over. So I hope you're happy. Sit there with the crocodile tears all you want. It's irrelevant. I want nothing to do with you. Stay out of my life.
I can't believe you're doing this.
Okay?
Doing what? What is it you can't believe he's doing?
I wanted to try to work on our relationship. That's my son.
You're sitting here arguing about money. You attacked him and punched him in the face in the floor.
Yes, I did.
And you say, because. Like that's okay. There's some
No,
reason
it
that
was
justifies
not.
that. Have you ever apologized for it?
Sure, I have.
Never.
Absolutely, I have.
Never. Never.
I have sent you text and apologized because you won't answer a phone call.
She never texted me anything.
Yes,
She
I
just
did. I
texted me
texted him
asking
just
for money.
last week.
Yeah, the day after your show called me, she said, can we please work this out?
I called you, text you before that.
Why don't you apologize in
Tommy,
person?
I am sorry. You're my son. I don't want to lose you.
Well,
You're everything to me.
I'm sorry that it happened, but I'm out. I'm sorry that it happened. You're my mother. I've busted my ass for years to give you anything that you wanted. That $9,000, let's just say I did just miraculously steal it, which we all know is a crock. But if I did, I've paid it back 10 times over in the last 3 years. I didn't.
You could have had
Okay?
it. If you just said, Mom, I need it.
You told me that you wanted to give it to me.
No, Tommy, I said, do you need it?
Okay, well,
Do
can
you
we take
need
a lie
it?
detector test?
Okay, I mean,
Can we take a lie
really?
detector test? Absolutely.
You're my son.
So is it the money that you're concerned about, or the relationship with me? Because it sure sounds like it's the money.
Okay, it's not.
I'll give you the money.
I didn't bring
Get
up
the
the
hell away.
$9,000 first. Dr. Phil did. Okay? But is that why I'm here today? No.
Are you calling her names?
No.
Whoa. Hey,
No.
hold on.
No.
Are you calling your mother names? You either are or you aren't.
I am not. When she was punching me in the face, I called her names. Yes, I did. Before that, I never called her any names, and you know I didn't.
Yes, you did.
All right, we're going to take a break. Charlene says Tom has always been her protector. Tom says because she kept marrying the wrong man, which left him to pick up the pieces. What do you think pushed this relationship so bad that there was no other option than to start swinging on it?
I don't know.
Closed captioning provided by...
I didn't have a happy childhood. There was always some sort of drama. She's been married 7 times. There was always somebody in and out. I've been there to save her after every divorce she's had. I'm the one that always picks up the pieces when things fall apart. I felt like I was a bother to her. I was a burden. I remember one time when I was little, it was on my birthday. Her and my dad had just got divorced. She was going to go out somewhere. I asked her to stay with me. She told me no. I grabbed a hold of her and begged her not to go. She kicked at me and told me to get away from her.
Charlene says she's not the smartest kid on the block when it comes to picking men. That's why she says she's been married 7 times to 6 men, but she says she always believed Tom when he told her, quote, "I'm the only man you can ever trust. I'll always look out for you." She says she's not so sure about that now because he says he wants to end this relationship. He wants nothing to do with her. He wants this over with. Now, let me ask you this. What do you think you have done to contribute to the deterioration of this relationship?
I'm hateful, and I'm grouchy. I have a lot of stress, work about 80 hours a week. Job is pretty demanding. It has been for years.
When you say you're hateful and grouchy, that means you're not very good company?
I guess you could put it that way.
You're a grown man. Why are you so involved with each other? I mean, I understand she's your mother, he's your son, but why are you so involved that were you living with her? You said you would come home late at night and lay around till you left Monday morning. Were you living together?
I would come home on Saturday night. Okay, I considered that my house. I would come home on Saturday night.
She was living there in your house?
I would come home on Saturday night after work. Okay, I would stay Saturday night all day Sunday, and I would get up and leave and go to work Monday morning.
And what do you think pushed this relationship so bad that she felt the need to start swinging on you? Not that there's anything that justifies, but what do you think made her perceive things so bad that she felt the need that there was no other option than to start swinging on you?
Well, I think for her, you know, for some reason things are money driven. I don't know why.
Was it frustration over money?
I mean, I don't know. The day before all of this happened is when the incident happened on the river. She was really frustrated. You know, said that these two men were trying to beat her up and tip her jet ski over, and they were being mean to her, and she didn't know why. And I said, well, call the police. I was working. I come home that night. She tells me all about it. I go to bed. She comes and tells me the next morning that the police told her just to drop it, to leave it alone. So I asked her, you know, I said, is it possible that maybe you drank one too many, or you know, took one too many pain pills, or whatever the case may be, and it just got away from you? Is that possible? Well, that kind of sent her off the edge. And you know, when I tried to talk to her, it didn't go over very well. So, and it was later that day when all of this stuff happened.
I'm going to take a break, and I'm going to tell you, too, what I think is going on, because I'm going to tell you what happens. When I see people going around and around and not able to get resolution, it's because they're talking about topics rather than issues. Topics are what's happening on the surface. Issues are what underlie everything that they're talking about. People talk about topics because they're safe. They don't talk about issues because they're too dangerous. I think these two are talking about topics like money, jet skis, and rivers because that's safe. And they're not talking about the issues that are much too risky. And I'm going to tell you what I think those issues are when we come back. Closed captioning provided by... I'm just going to tell you what I think, and then I'm going to tell you to take it home and think about it. But I'm going to draw you a picture. You know, relationships are mutually defined. And the quality of a relationship is a function of how well it meets the needs of the two people involved. You can have A here, and you can have B down here, and they're going to mutually define a relationship. Now, let's say this person does 85% of the talking. And let's say this person does 15% of the talking. Okay. Why is there an imbalance? It depends on who you ask. You could ask A, and they say, well, hell, somebody's got to say something. If I didn't talk, we would just sit there and watch the paint dry. You could ask B, and they would say, 15, hell, that's a victory. You can't get a words in edgewise with this motor mouth. It would just depend on who you ask. But whichever it is, they have mutually defined this. This is a dysfunctional relationship. And you have mutually defined it. You say, I'm done. She's out of here. I'm going to tell you, having buried my mother, you don't want to make that decision. You look back and what you thought was so monumental that you were willing to fight and die over it, you were willing to sever your relationship over it, will seem so petty and so small, and you will have to live with that for the rest of your life. Now, and I say that having buried a mother that never raised her voice to me in my entire life. When she died, I was 50-something years old. She never raised her voice to me in her entire life. I could go set the school on fire, and she would say, well, he gets irritable in the afternoons. You have to understand, he needs his nap, and y'all need to they just don't understand. She was just that way. And if she, God forbid, were to drop dead before the end of this sentence, and the last thing that you had said to her was, I'm done. I want you out of my life. You would regret that for the rest of your life. Now, does that mean that her behavior is acceptable or was acceptable? Absolutely, unequivocally not. What I suggest is that you do two things for yourself and for her. Number one is that you understand the power of forgiveness. There's tremendous power in forgiveness. Because if you forgive her, then that doesn't mean what she did is okay. It just means that you are unwilling to spend the rest of your life locked into a bitter bond with her over what she did. And I'm asking you to forgive her. She clearly has relationship problems because she's been through 8 divorces now, because this relationship is being severed as well. So she's demonstrated the inability to sustain a healthy relationship across time. So you know that she is damaged relationship-wise. You don't know why, you just know she is. And now that you've grown up into an adult male, you've gone in to the target zone. And she doesn't know how to deal with you as a man. And so she's trounced all over that relationship. She needs to learn how to fix that. But when you forgive her, you set yourself free. You set yourself free. Because as long as you are locked in that bond with her of bitterness and hatred, it's going to ruin you. Now, I will provide the two of you, both individually and if necessary collectively, professional help to make this transition, to deal with this issue of relationship at this level that I'm talking about, to redefine a healthy relationship. And I know you work 80 hours a week. I have a company called Doctor on Demand that my son and I created. It's an app that you can download from on your smartphone, your computer, your laptop, or whatever. And within seconds, you can be in front of a board-certified physician for your medical needs, and you can make appointments and be in front of a licensed doctoral level therapist that I am going to hand pick. And so if you're on the road in a hotel room at night or whatever, you get on your laptop and you're face to face with a therapist that can talk to you about the things that I'm discussing with you here. That is my gift to you. I want to set that up for you and set that up for you. You don't even have to leave. You be right there in your house. You be sitting in a car in a park. You don't even have to go anywhere. They come to you to help get past this and implement this. But I want you to have peace. I want you to have peace. I don't want to see this fractured. So all I'm asking is, will you consider this?
Yes.
Will you consider this?
Absolutely.
That's all I ask. All right. And if you at home want to have your own Doctor on Demand, you can go to Google Play Store or iTunes App Store and download the Doctor on Demand app. I'm going to leave you guys to think about this. Up next, a former model buried her face in makeup for 10 years, not just to look better. We're going to find out what she was hiding when we come back. Closed captioning provided by... Okay, imagine you start a modeling career at age 17 and 2 years later, a little white spot appears on your face. You probably wouldn't think much of it, but what if that spot spread all over your face, threatening your career? That was the plight of my next guest, Brienne, who says for 10 years she had to hide a devastating secret. Take a look.
Awesome. Give me attitude.
I started modeling around 17 years old. I felt modeling would be a long-term profession for me, and I noticed a small white patch underneath my left eye. I thought, hey, maybe it's a zit, it'll go away. When I went to the dermatologist, he said, you have vitiligo, there's really no cure for it. I was completely devastated. I hid the vitiligo from the modeling world by doing my makeup. It can go up to 45 minutes or longer. I felt all of my dreams that I had of being a model just came to a crash because I didn't feel good enough. People ask if I got a really bad sunburn, what's wrong with your face? I don't want to feel this way about myself anymore. I posted a photo of me with no makeup on Instagram. For me, coming clean, it felt like such a big weight off of my shoulders. Now I think my vitiligo makes me beautiful because it's me.
Well, Brianne is joining me along with my very good friend, Dr. Frida Lewis Hall, Chief Medical Officer of Pfizer. So welcome to both of you. I'm glad you're here. Brianne, what was your reaction to your vitiligo diagnosis?
I was completely shocked, devastated, and I look in the mirror and I thought, why me? Why'd this have to happen to me?
So as you were hiding this under your makeup, how did it affect your relationships? Because you didn't let anybody know, right?
I only told my parents about it. My friends didn't know. I hid it from men in my life. I felt like a phony.
So tell us exactly what this vitiligo is, and do we know what causes this?
So vitiligo is a chronic disorder that basically causes the skin to lose its color. And researchers don't exactly know what causes it, but believe that the body may be attacking and destroying the cells that are responsible for making pigment or color. It can develop anywhere that we have pigment, like our mouth, our nose, our ears, and our eyes. And there is a misconception that this only occurs in people with darker skin, but vitiligo can occur in people of all color skins.
Well, after hiding it for 10 years, you took off your makeup and exposed this vitiligo. Why did you decide to do that?
I was sifting through photos of myself with and without makeup, and I thought, do I want to feel this way for the rest of my life? So I uploaded a photo of myself without any makeup online, and the response was incredible.
So when you were covered with makeup and you knew what was under it, were you feeling like a fraud?
I did. I felt like I had this secret that no one knew about.
What do people need to know about it? Is it contagious?
Thank you for asking that. It is not contagious. It's also not life-threatening, but it is certainly, in many cases, life-altering, and Brianne's story kind of really helps punctuate that for us. I mean, think about it. In many cases, this can lead to low self-esteem, to depression, and sometimes even in social withdrawal or isolation.
Model Winnie Harlow revealed her vitiligo in 2014 as a contestant on America's Next Top Model and appeared in Beyonce videos. Brianne, like Winnie, you're helping really to break the beauty stereotypes. And that's a big part of what you want to do, right?
Yes, I love Winnie Harlow. I think we need more role models in the society for people who love themselves and aren't afraid to be comfortable in their own skin.
Yeah. So what should people do with vitiligo, particularly with regard to managing the situation?
To managing the medical condition that vitiligo is. First of all, I'll do the universal precaution right out of the gate. People with vitiligo are particularly sensitive to sunburn. And then people with vitiligo are more prone to things like depression, thyroid disorders, anemia, alopecia, which is kind of the hair falling out, as well as diabetes. So to get into care with a dermatologist that treats vitiligo and will certainly pay attention to your skin, but will pay attention to other things, these are all important.
When I was preparing for this, I went to gethealthystayhealthy.com. There's a lot of information there, and people can also sign up for the newsletter and get information sent directly to them, right?
To them. And we were careful this go round because we wanted to make sure that we had information on clinical trials, that we had information on support groups, since that's so very important in vitiligo, and then also some general information about vitiligo because many people don't really know what they have.
So back when this was all happening, you stopped modeling, right?
I did.
Have you thought about getting back to it?
I've thought about it, yeah.
All right, I want to thank all of my guests today, especially Dr. Frida Lewis Hall. For more information on today's show, you can visit drphil.com. We'll see you next time. Good to meet you.